You are listening to Strange Old Man in a Strange Old Cave, the podcast where the title has nothing to do with the content. I am Tommy Harrison, and that's Hale Smith. Hale Smith. And today we're going to talk about memes and hot air balloons.
Close. So, memes. We might do an episode on memes one day. I mean, probably not, but
God forbid.
we might do it. I don't know. Yeah, hot air balloons. Harrison, have you ever been in a hot air balloon?
I have not. Have you?
I haven't. I think it'd be cool though.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like you'd have to be somewhere like either France or Napa.
Oh yeah, Napa's where they have the
Vineyards.
the convention.
Wait, there's a hot air balloon convention in Napa?
I thought there was.
I think there actually is.
I thought that's what you were referencing.
I don't know. Napa's just a nice place.
Mm.
I've never been there, but I've seen like pictures of it.
All right.
And there was an episode of Psych where they went to Napa.
What is there?
Yeah, and then they also rode in a hot air balloon too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a good show. I recommend it.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good show.
All right.
So to the real meat and
What are we
potatoes.
talking about today, Tommy?
So Harrison, do you like spy movies?
I do like spy movies sometimes, but not all the time.
Well, yeah, you also got to consider, a good script versus a bad script. Yeah. But in general, since probably the 60s, everyone's just done spy movies. And for the most part, everyone loves spy movies. There's something interesting about, I don't know, people, just espionage, I guess, in general.
Yeah.
And obviously, in the movies, they spruce it up a bit to make it all cool and whatnot.
Yeah, and romanticized.
Yeah, it's romanticized, I'm pretty sure real spies don't get laid that much, right?
Right, guys? Right?
I don't know, I'm not a spy. But if I had to give you more information, I'd have to kill you.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding, I'm not. So, recently, well, actually not recently, I've been wanting to do this podcast for quite a while.
Alright.
But, I've just never had the time. And so we finally have time now, and we can finally do this.
Yeah, we have... I'm not working anymore. Tommy's... we're kind of working?
Yeah. Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, but... So I found these articles because I was wondering, okay, in the movies and whatnot, how close are spies in the movies to actual spies in real life? And we got a few articles that the first one, I deem both of them, I kind of deem both of them reliable. First one is from probably like a magazine or whatever. But they interview a guy they interviewed a guy named Dr. Vince Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
Or Hutton? I don't know. Hutton, whatever. He's a historian and curator at the International Spy Museum.
Ooh.
So that's pretty interesting. And the other article is on CIA.gov. So one of them is an actual, it's from
spy.
It's from the actual organization itself. So very interesting. So let's crack down on some myths about spies. So first article on I believe it's VanityFair.com. So that's interesting. So a movie myth about spies is that spies are always kind of hot, kind of attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Because all movie stars are just pretty, unless they want to be ugly.
In general,
unless you're
Smeagol
or Gollum. Or unless the character has to be like ugly. So spies are always kind of hot, and then what our good old pal Dr. Vince Hutton or whatever. He says, spies, and I'm just gonna read directly from the article. Spies are occasionally kinda hot and are deployed depending on the mission's requirements. You want people who look like Daniel Craig or Tom Cruise if you need someone to go into a high society function and to fit in. Sometimes you want people who can recruit using their looks. And I don't mean via sex. We frown upon that in the United States.
Yeah.
They use sex a lot more in the Soviet side and East Germany.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, using what they call
cool.
honey traps, which is my favorite, or Romeo spies. But it's much easier to get someone to like you and to work with if you're good looking and suave and have the ability to kind of psychologically get into their head a little bit. So that's actually one thing I found very interesting, that the United States frowns upon recruiting people or kind of getting into people by not getting into people. You know, I found that's one thing I found very interesting. Yeah.
Is that so? I mean, of course, most spies, in reality, most spies probably spend 15 years working in an embassy overseas, and then they do a couple things. They filch a couple files, and they
get into a gunfight every once in a while.
Yeah, like I'm sure there's probably been almost no gunfights, no actual gunfights.
Yeah.
In the spy world.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but you never know.
You never know. We're not spies. We don't know the juicy deets. And I'm also a little bit surprised that I know he says he uses Soviets, so like Soviet side in East Germany, even though those don't exist. And let's see when this article was written.
They don't exist anymore.
This article was written last year, but I guess. So maybe Russian spies still bang people a lot? I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know.
Come on. Tommy, we've both seen Man from U.N.C.L.E. Awesome movie.
It is pretty awesome.
Army Hammer, come on. He plays a Russian spy.
Something very interesting about the Man from U.N.C.L.E. So, it's supposed to take place in, like, the late 50s. And you know what? Nobody is smoking in that movie. And I didn't...
Wait, what?
They don't smoke at all in that movie.
In Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah. No one's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't realize. And that it's like... I feel like it's a little lame that they didn't do that, because it's the time period. In the 50s.
It's the time period, but...
In the time period, everyone...
It doesn't take place in the 50s. It takes place in the 60s.
Everyone was... No, it's like late 50s. That's what I'd say. But everyone...
I think it says like 1962 in the movie. Or something. I don't know.
But it's like... Even then, people still smoked a lot. Most people. So, that's something that's like... I feel like they should have added that, because that would have definitely made the time period and era look a little more believable. But it's something I didn't necessarily notice until someone pointed it out. I'm like... Holy crap, you're right. So, yeah. Alright. Another myth. Spies drive the same kind of expensive cars as professional athletes and billionaires.
Of course they don't. You don't want to look, you don't want to be conspicuous.
Yeah. So, spy reality. So, spies are driving cars that blend in. So if you're infiltrating a high society ball where everyone is a multimillionaire, you're going to be driving a nice car.
I don't know. I'd probably just drive a Honda Civic.
Like a 91 Honda Civic or something.
Yeah. Blend in.
It says if you're just driving through the streets of Moscow, you're going to be driving a clunker. Probably. I didn't know that's a word for cars, but like just a regular car, I guess.
Tommy, do you not know what clunker means?
Well, I assume that just means kind of a junker car.
Yeah.
But
I thought you, because you said like, I didn't know that meant car.
No, I never heard that. I've just never heard that word, and it sounds, the word clunker sounds clunky, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Using a word to describe a word, pretty much. The same root, I guess, but
Hmm.
whatever. I would have said like junker car, but that's just my vocabulary, I guess.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and the idea of espionage writ large is writ WIRT. Did I say that right?
Wait, say it again.
WIRT. Writ.
Writ. Yeah. WRIT.
What did I say?
You said WIRT.
Oh,
Wort.
worked.
Wort.
Yeah, but basically,
What the Wario would say.
yeah, and basically the idea of espionage is to be nondescript.
And blend in.
Yeah, you blend. You don't want to stand out, which makes sense because, you know, the key to espionage is no one actually knowing you're a spy.
Hmm.
No one realizes that. Oh, you're. I don't know. You're peeping in on top secret plans.
Yeah.
You're peeping Tom for
A
government.
peeping.
You're peeping Tom for government secrets.
Hmm.
Yeah. So.
Well.
Oh,
Alright.
you go.
Oh well. I was gonna switch to the next topic, which is kind of similar to what we're talking about now, but continue.
Okay. I don't know. I want to find like a. Let's see. Oh, here's one. The life of a spy is incredibly sexy and dangerous. So.
It's not.
That's the
Well,
movie.
it's probably dangerous, but
Maybe it depends what you do. So. Our good old pal Dr. Vince says, my general feeling on all movie about spy agencies is that the more boring the movie is, the more realistic it is.
yeah.
Which,
Nobody wants to watch boring movies.
yeah. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which puts
Mhm.
most people to sleep, is one of the most accurate spy movies.
Okay, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, that is realistic. Even the Bondian types of intelligent officers are doing smart work in analyzing ways to get people to give information over. It's about seducing people's minds and sometimes seducing people's bodies. Oh. But it's a lot less shooting. I mean, blowing stuff up.
Mm.
It's more, how effectively can I do this, which doesn't make a good movie.
Yeah.
A movie that involves people that the main people are just thinking. It's not very.
You can't see inside. You can't see inside their heads.
Yeah. I don't know how do you think if you were gonna make a movie how do you think you could do that, like project what they're thinking?
I wouldn't want to do voiceovers. I would rather do I don't know. I've thought a lot about wanting to be a cinematographer because that's really cool. And I just thought of something, Tommy. Instead of just having a voice, okay.
No, I said meaning.
Oh, I thought you said hold on.
No, yeah.
The voice. So instead of a voiceover, you have like you cut to them. It's just a quiet shot of someone, kind of staring off into the distance, or stare like kind of 1,000-yard stare, without the horror.
Mm-hmm.
And you cut to them. You cut to what's inside their head, meaning like if they're thinking about ice skating. You cut from them. You cut from the shot of them looking into the distance to them ice skating. And
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it.
So you're actually just showing what they're thinking. And
exactly.
Then, I guess how I would imagine that. So there's a shot. I think it'd be kind of cool if it was like, it's like a low angle shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were describing this, I was picturing like some guy sitting on like a city bench in a park. And then, like, there's a low-angle shot, and then, like, he's just sitting there, and then the movie, and then it, like, dips to white instead of black, because white, I feel like, is better for giving more surreal feeling. So you do that, and you have, like, kind of like a white vignette,
A white vignette?
Yeah, you know what a vignette is. It's
Yeah, no, I know what a vignette is, but I wouldn't go for a vignette. I think they're overdone.
It depends. Vignettes actually. I feel like vignettes actually really do help
Mm.
do really help enhance the scene.
Okay.
But yeah, although I guess depending on what the guy, what the character's thinking about, because there's effects where like, um, everything looks really choppy. I don't know what that. There's some effect in Adobe Premiere. I don't remember what it's called, but like it makes like there's kind of like the frame kind of lags a little bit, so it kind of looks like the frame's duplicating in a sense.
So it has like just this lower frame rate.
It's not that it's a frame rate, but like the frame rate's lower. But I guess that with the effect makes it look like it's lower.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Or
I don't
like
know.
a character moves, and then you see them move, but then there's like a transparent version that still hasn't moved yet.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure what that effect is called. So
I don't really like that effect, to be honest. It's just I think it's overdone.
I feel like it has its place, but it shouldn't be done for absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Maybe if you like add some sort of reverb to voices, like let's say your character's ice skating. Whether you want to add like kind of a white vignette or not. You add that, but then like voices should have maybe a slight, or maybe audio for that just in general would probably have to have some sort of slight reverb on it, so it sounds a little further away, in the distance. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. That was quite the tangent.
Quite the tangent for movie stuff. Okay, so what were you gonna say for next little topic, I guess?
Well, are you done talking about the spies?
Well, there's still a bunch more.
All right. Well, I was going to talk about kind of a similar topic about medieval life in the movies versus in real life. But let's continue on spies for a little bit.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna switch over to the CIA.gov thing. Although, granted, I'll put both link both articles in the description so you can read them yourselves because I think they're pretty good.
All right.
So the myth is everyone at the CIA is a spy. That's not true.
Yeah.
In the case, these case officers commonly depicted in Hollywood are just one specialized occupation in the CIA. These officers recruit people in foreign countries who have access to valuable information, spies. But the officers themselves aren't spies. So I guess not everyone in the CIA is a spy, but the CIA has spies because the CIA is Central Intelligence Agency.
Yeah.
So I guess officers just like, hey, you wanna give us valuable information? Whatever you're, I don't know, Muhammad, I guess. Because they're in a foreign country.
Yeah, or what are some other ones?
Brad.
Johnny.
It's like you're in a foreign country. It's like, you got this like American dude. We'll call him Amerigo.
Vespucci?
Amerigo, Uncle Sam Vespucci.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's an Italian American, but he works for the CIA.
Alright.
And he's like, let's say he's in Saudi Arabia. He's like, hey kid, what's your name? He's like, hey, I'm Brad.
Hey, I've lived in Kabul my whole life. My name's Brad. He has porcelain white skin and blonde hair.
Yeah. Oh no, it's another teen spy movie. Ugh.
Oh God.
Starring Maddie B.
Shut up.
Dude, how much you want to bet that one day Maddie B is going to be in a movie? He's going to have his own movie.
I would kill myself.
Harrison, we'd have to go see that movie in theaters.
The Maddie B movie?
If there was ever going to be a Maddie B movie, we would have to go watch it in theaters. We would waste our money but it would be worth it.
Yeah, I would just end my life. All right, well.
All right, so I guess that's a little bit more about, or that's enough for spies right now. Whoever, any of you people who are so humbly in our cave, care to learn more about spies and whatnot, just check out the articles in the description. And I say this is a good spot to take a little break.
Take a break.
Yeah, take a break. Word from our sponsor.
A word from our sponsor.
Yeah. Okay.
Tommy, I've been looking for a pair of Crocs.
Yo.
Do you know where I could get the Crocs?
Well, I guess you can get some on Amazon. You can get some, Amazon. You may be able to find some at Best Buy. But the best place to get Crocs is Crocs.com.
Crocs.com. Well, our listeners, our peeps, our home dogs, if you go to Crocs.com right now, you can use our special offer code.
Strange Old Men in a Strange Old Cave.
Strange Old Men in a Strange Old Caves. We'll leave it up to you how you enter that in. It's Strange Old Men in a Strange Old Cave for 80 to 100% off, maybe even 110. They'll give you money for buying their Crocs.
They have so many Crocs. They have all sorts of shapes, sizes, smells.
Smells. They have used Crocs, old Crocs,
crocodiles.
Crocodiles. They've got crocodiles.
So
it's
all limited time.
It's all limited time offer. So if you're coming in to Crocs.com, you're walking into the website just like you do. Use our offer code, Strange Old Men and Strange Old Cave.
Yep. Click the Croc in the top middle left-hand corner.
In the top, the bottom left, the bottom right-hand middle. And Tommy, click the link. It's not like we have any stake in Crocs.com. We're not.
That's where I get all of my.
We're not Tom
Crocs.
Syndicate.
Yeah.
Get it? He owned the CS:GO website.
Yeah. Good times. So Crocs.com, get your Crocs now.
Get your Crocs, you dingus.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back
to the vomitorium.
Yeah. What's that mean?
Well, interesting fact. A lot of people think that, the vomitorium was an area in the Colosseum where Romans could go and vomit after they indulged themselves and could not eat anymore. They would go and vomit in the vomitorium, but that's BS. The vomitorium is just pretty much the entrance hall to the Colosseum, and everybody needs to know that.
Well, who's to say that they didn't go and throw up there?
I don't know. They probably did.
Or maybe they went over to the railing or whatever into the where they play their little Roman baseball or something, and they just went and puked all over there to give their team an advantage. So, you got Gladiator John versus a giraffe.
A giraffe?
Yeah, let's say, because did you know that they would often get exotic animals and throw them in the arena?
Man,
and they actually did have
Rome
giraffes.
was a crazy time.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really want to live in ancient Rome.
I think I would.
As
long as I wasn't a slave, or as long as I wasn't a slave, I think I'd be fine. Or as long as if I didn't own slaves, I think I'd be fine.
I think you'd also not want to be a powerful official, because that means you'd probably get assassinated.
Yeah, I think I'd probably want to live on a small farm, with my family, or maybe be a builder.
But you'd probably be a slave if you were a builder.
Yeah.
So maybe an architect.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to our next. Yeah, an architect or a mason.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our next.
Or a Mongol.
Speaking of Masons and in the medieval times,
The Freemasons.
the Freemasons. No, if you're interested in medieval times and the Middle Ages, read *The Pillars of the Earth*. Great book about the building of a cathedral. Good book.
Yeah.
Anyway, now let's move on to our next topic. Real medieval times versus terrible medieval times.
So like movies.
Like movies, yeah. So, a lot of people. I'm not reading off anything.
Okay.
But a lot of people seem to have. But the first topic of this little spiel is. A lot of people seem to have this idea that medieval peasants were always covered in their own feces. They lived in little holes in the ground. They slept with pigs. They they believed in witches. Well, a lot of them probably did actually believe in witches, but
people probably thought witches were real up until.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I don't even know because
1911.
Maybe.
That's the year when being a witch was legalized.
Okay, witches were legalized in 1911.
Yeah. Anyway, medieval people spent a lot, they took, just like people today, they took a lot of pride in their appearance. They took baths and stuff, probably.
Probably.
Well, it was probably pretty miserable being a serf, but I mean, it's better than, Oh yeah, they also wore colorful clothing and stuff too. A lot of people have this idea that medieval serfs just wore brown crap with poop on it, but they probably wore colorful dyed wool and stuff.
Did they probably make it themselves, or?
They probably made it They probably traded dye, because to dye stuff you have to have this special. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to get a really good dye, you have to get this this stuff called alum. Which is pretty expensive apparently. In the medieval ages, it was used for dyeing. I know about this because I listened to about half of I listened to about half of the sequel to Pillars of the Earth, World Without End. It has literally a 50-page exploration of the medieval dyeing industry, which is an incredibly boring and kind of wasteful experience, but it's interesting.
50 pages on medieval dyeing.
On dyeing, the dye industry in medieval times.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not super interesting, but I think it's interesting. Anyway, another thing is, Lindy Beige did a video about this, and movies and stuff, say someone's hands are tied up, and they're about to get their head cut off, but then a hero comes up and saves them, and the hero cuts the rope off their hands. You dick! You know how long rope takes to make? Takes a long time! Why are you just cutting it? Why not just untie it, you dick? Just untie the rope, hero. Man, you're not such a hero now, are you? When the rope took 2 days to make, using jute that the farmer grew himself. The man starved to grow that rope. To grow the jute to make that rope, and now you just cut it. Good job, hero.
Well, what if the person was a criminal? Then why would he go and, save him?
I don't know. Do I look like I know anything about medieval times, Tommy?
You're right.
Anyway.
And plus, I don't know if it was very common for a hero dude to just swoop in and.
Probably wasn't.
But think about it. If it was
hanged.
If it was an enemy kingdom, then you wouldn't care about wasting the resources.
I don't know.
You'd probably
I would probably just untie and then take the rope. Useful, just untie it and take it with you.
But there's also circumstances where it's you don't have time,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, So rope took a very long time to make.
It did.
Where else? Well, no, you can't exactly grow hemp in
No, I
Europe
think
because
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
think the climate's right. Because
you can
don't you
grow.
need like
I don't know.
a more humid climate to grow? Well, then again,
I honestly don't know.
it's not very humid and they grow it all the time. In Concal.
In Concal.
Yeah, in Concal.
Oh, they also
Yeah.
there's there's a family that grows pot on my corner, which is pretty sketchy.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
we
shoot. I
live.
guess no. I guess it's just very water intensive.
Yeah, I'm sure it
So
is.
shoot, if you can grow it up in the north where we live, then shoot, you can grow it anywhere.
Yeah, we live in the Union.
Yeah.
As Abraham Lincoln said, if you like slavery, I will attack you with the North.
I'll attack you with the north and shoot you myself
Mm-hmm.
with this AR-15.
Yeah, because everybody knows that Abraham Lincoln invented the AR-15.
Yep, he invented that along with robotic bears.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. Don't worry.
Robot bears.
Yep. He also inspired the card game Munchkin.
Mm-hmm. Wait, really? Oh. Oh.
Sure. Yeah. So rope, very hard to make, and
Yep. I mean, you can make string. I mean, I'm sure you could make weak rope. Like, I don't know, you could make. I mean, it's easy to make rope out of like bark fibers, but it's not as strong as jute rope.
mm,
Jute rope is pretty strong.
it's the stuff.
It's the stuff. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, medieval armor is also really not accurate in a lot of movies.
Oh,
You'll see a man, riding into battle with chainmail, and he'll have a coif on, and you know what a coif is, Tommy?
no.
A coif is basically a little chainmail hood.
Oh, okay.
And
So this is full on. So in the movies, this is like full on Monty Python and the Holy Grail, like
yeah, and
full on
I mean,
coconuts and everything.
yeah, a lot, and in a lot of medieval movies, like nobody wears padding under their chainmail. When in reality, if you weren't wearing padding under your chainmail, you were done. You were screwed. Chainmail on its own was not super useful, but if you were like
kind of useless.
if you were like exactly, because you could stab right through it probably.
Yeah.
If you were wearing like a padded gambeson, a gambeson is like a padded shirt. If you were wearing
not exactly a tunic, but
no, it's like a padded tunic.
okay.
If you were wearing like a padded gambeson and then you wore like a hauberk, which is like a chainmail t-shirt.
Dude,
If you were like a
chainmail t-shirt.
I don't know, they're super cool.
Yeah.
But if you if you did that, I mean, you're fine. There's just a lot of inaccuracies with medieval things. Oh yeah, another thing. I'm just kind of going on
one.
Another one. Thanks, DJ Khaled. Another thing.
Papa bless.
Yeah.
Man, I'm cross meming right here.
Up. You don't cross the memes, Tommy.
No,
another thing is, why does nobody ever use a shield in medieval movies and video games? Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones. It's wonderful. But in the new episode, or in the second to last episode of this season, there was a big battle and nobody used shields. Like there are some people who use shields, but none of the main characters use shields. None of them wore helmets. None of them wore much armor. Gear. Yeah, none of them wore proper battle gear. Like Jon Snow, he's like the battle commander of the army. He wears like a leather tunic. Awesome. That's probably not going to stop anything. Come on, dude. Wear some chainmail over that, you dingus. Wear a helmet. Wear a helmet, dude. You're probably going to be wishing for a helmet when a dude tries to hit your head with a mace. Wear a helmet, you dingus.
Yeah, I think I'd want to wear a helmet if some guy was going to try to hit me with a mace.
Yeah,
or try to plunge it, try to like hit my head.
I think the reason for this is a lot of medieval armor looks kind of stupid. Like look up if listeners look up a conical steel cap.
How do you spell that? Because I'm gonna look this up too.
Conical, CONICAL, conical steel cap.
Oh,
it's like
a cone.
Yeah, like here. Just look up medieval helmets, and a lot of them look pretty dumb. Like, I mean, some of them, like a bassinet or a barboot or a barbute, but something like this. What is this? Something like a Norman Crusader helmet looks
Oh
pretty
my
dumb.
gosh.
What?
It's
What? Like a Norman helmet would probably look pretty dumb.
dude. It's like
What?
it's the Iron Wizard hat.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Here, I'm looking at so there's pig face helmets, a chainmail hood, which is also called a coif, a barboot, a Norman helmet, a kettle helm, a sallet, a pig face, a spangan, a Renaissance. Well,
Lots of these
Renaissance.
names are kind of stupid.
A pig face helmet. Well, a pig face helmet looks pretty dumb too. Like, I totally here like
Like
just
if you were in the medieval army, you'd be like, heck no, I'm not gonna take that.
yeah.
If
I'd probably
anything,
I don't know.
I'd want a bucket helm.
I'd probably want to look like a Van Varangian guard. Those guys look pretty armored. This guy's got a Dane axe. He's got a conical steel helmet. He's wearing a padded gambeson. He's wearing chainmail. This guy actually, like, this is probably one of the more realistic depictions of medieval armor and medieval soldiers I've seen. This dude looks pretty cool, actually. Like, he looks pretty BA.
Okay.
But also, gray helms are super cool looking. Like the ones with the crosses on them. Like,
Yeah.
especially something like this. Here, I'll send you a picture. Even though our listeners are not in here with us, unfortunately. There, look at that. That's a kind of really cool looking helmet. I would love to wear. All right, well, Tommy, I'm pretty done. I'm pretty finished.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and also one more thing. Medieval castles. When you see a castle in movies, it's like a big stone box with towers and stuff. Most castles, Tommy, you've played The Witcher 3. You've seen the Bloody Baron's castle.
Yeah.
It's literally just like a wall of earth and timber palisades around a small like stone keep. Come on, guys. Most medieval castles were just basically an earthen rampart with timber palisades.
Yeah, but in the movies or in like video games, you want to have you gotta at least have one super sweet looking castle.
Yeah.
That probably took years and years to build. Like, I don't know. Like, were there? No, there must have been at least castles that kind of look like ones you would see in like movies or video games. There's probably some that do exist.
Yeah.
Granted, are they like all destroyed now? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Oh, did you know that you can actually buy castles?
Yeah, you can. You can also buy Russian tanks. Because you can buy a Russian tank for cheap, like under $100,000. It doesn't have it doesn't have the cannon brake, which is a really important part of the cannon. So you can't actually shoot it, but you can buy a Russian tank and drive it around. Like you can buy a T-70, which is an old World War I and World War II tank.
I saw a Scottish castle for I think it was around £400,000.
That's cool.
So that's translated not translated, but if like in U.S. dollars, I believe that's maybe 500. It's gonna be maybe 500,000 or so. But it's like, dude, $500,000, and you're buying a castle.
That's awesome. I would totally buy a castle with that much.
But granted, it doesn't look like your standard medieval castle you'd see in movies or games. If anything, it's more of you're buying like the manor. So it's a really fancy looking house, but I guess technically it's a castle. Which would be cool, because it's like, how many people do you know that own a castle?
No one.
Exactly. Harrison, we should.
The Queen of England owns a castle.
Yeah, she doesn't count.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she probably does. Harrison, I think we should buy a castle.
I think we should.
Yeah. And then our next podcast will be in our castle.
All right. Yeah, we'll be the dungeon of our castle.
Yeah, because we tried stealing some other person's castle and then we got thrown in the dungeon. But hey, they had they had podcast recording equipment, so it's good for us.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty convenient, just like a probably like a bad scripted movie. I don't know.
Yeah. This is quite the rant podcast.
Yep. But a good one nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think we've exhausted our inexhaustible source of material.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everyone for checking out the podcast.
Yeah. Go to crocs.com.
Crocs.com, yeah. Proud sponsor. Yeah, and now we are inviting you to get out of our cave. What?
Crocs.com is a real website!